the technology to send a missile against the United States would certainly have the technology to shoot down a 747, and you do that first. It's just like in the old days. What they're advertising as being defensive is ridiculous because of vulnerability.
I mean, clearly, these airborne lasers are meant for assassinations and offensive operations and killing personnel.
Sure. Sure, they won't admit that, but of course they are.
All right, well, Dr. Bob Bowman, it's been an amazing interview, and your phone's breaking up a bit, so we're going to let you go, but we're going to get you set up to come on for a full hour to talk about your new book next week here on the radio broadcast with us. Thank you for spending so much time with us.
Thank you, Alex.
We'll see you. Again, we'll have him with us next week on a landline, ladies and gentlemen, but I wanted to get him on as soon as possible. Dr. Bowman has been in and out of the hospital with cancer. He's going to be with doctors throughout part of this week, and he's a tough guy. And, I mean, he was here last year for an interview that we put in Fall of the Republic, my latest documentary film, and he did a couple hours on the radio, did the interviews, and then you could just tell he was drained when he got back in his RV and drove off. Such a great guy and tough, because he doesn't feel too well, so be sure and support him. Tireless fighter for freedom. Okay, we've got a very informative lady who survived the Oklahoma City bombing attack 15 years ago, joining us on the other side of this quick break. Don't forget, Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA premieres tomorrow at prisonplanet.tv.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
With the implementation of Codex Alimentarius, it is clear that we must act quickly to avoid losing our freedom of choice where personal health preferences are concerned. As of January 1st, 2010, Codex Alimentarius was implemented within the European Union, resulting in the restricted sale of many natural supplements, including colloidal silver. We must take immediate steps to assure a continuing supply of colloidal silver for ourselves and our families. Act now to acquire the means of producing this beneficial supplement in the privacy of your own home. Colloidal silver is a powerful antipathogenic used for more than 200 years as a natural alternative to costly drugs and their dangerous, unpredictable side effects. Go to www.silverlungs.com for more information on how to secure your freedom of choice by producing your own colloidal silver right from home. That's www.silverlungs.com. silverlungs.com.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Suffer from poor sleep? You've got to try MyPillow. Introducing the most revolutionary, most comfortable, and coolest pillow ever. MyPillow. Imagine your very own custom fit pillow. MyPillow is the only pillow of its kind on the market that uses a patented fill, custom made to your exact individual needs. MyPillow is 100% made in the USA and has a natural built-in cooling effect that keeps your cervical nerves cool, and that helps you get the best REM sleep possible. MyPillow helps alleviate snoring, migraine, sleep apnea, and other sleeping disorders. MyPillow is antimicrobial, non-allergenic, dust mite resistant, machine washable and dryable, comes in many sizes and will not go flat. And best of all, MyPillow comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So what do you have to lose except poor sleep? Go to MyPillowShop.com, mention coupon code GCN and receive up to $40 off. That's MyPillowShop.com, or call 952-442-6199. That's 952-442-6199. MyPillow, for the rest of your life.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show. because there's a war on for your mind.
We have Jane Graham's affidavit. We've interviewed the former foreman of the Oklahoma City grand jury. We've interviewed police officers. We have a very clear picture of what happened that day. A very clear picture. And in fact, Jane, if memory serves, I've interviewed her in years. I remember that she even saw some of the people that she saw working in the building planting gray sticks of butter with wires who had federal passes as maintenance people on some of the news footage. And I've talked to other witnesses that said they saw those men in there. And then on the news, after the bomb had gone off, they'd say, well, that's him. Well, that's him. John Doe number 2, Iraqis involved, all protected by the U.S. government. Jane Graham is a 9th floor survivor of the Murrah federal building bombing in Oklahoma City in '95. She's made a video affidavit after she watched the video cover-up in Oklahoma. In that video, she recognized seeing 2 men who were caught on camera walking hurriedly away from the building after the bombing, holding walkie-talkies. She says that she had noticed these men in the building prior to the bombing wearing General Services Administration maintenance uniforms, that she did not recognize GSA employees. And we have her affidavit up on Infowars.com. Now, there's a new article out by Red Dirt Report, a great outfit out of Oklahoma, and it boils down. Again, she's one of scores of survivors and witnesses that basically tell the same story, okay? And now you have Terry Nichols saying in a sworn federal affidavit that McVeigh was a black op operator. You have McVeigh separately saying one day it'll come out the government did this. The ATF 30 seconds after the bombing in full bomb gear telling medics, patch me up, I was on the 9th floor. She was on the 9th floor. It was almost completely destroyed. Asinine. While Oklahoma and the rest of the world respectively remember the 168 people who died in the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, one survivor of April 19, 1995 blast, Jane Graham, wants her questions about what really happened that day answered once and for all. Graham, a native of Chicago, was working for HUD office on the 9th floor of the Murrah building that morning, told Red Dirt Report that there were a lot of strange things going on in the weeks leading up to the bombing, things that she shared numerous times with federal agents, things she felt were ignored. This including the presence of maintenance workers she did not recognize, military people in the parking garage, and more unusual activity. But one of the key figures, the bomber himself, Tim McVeigh, was spotted in the federal building on a number of occasions, and by multiple witnesses, I would add. It was a couple of weeks before the bombing. I had seen McVeigh in the building prior to the bombing around the first week of April. McVeigh, Graham said, rode up the elevator while she was heading to her office on that morning. And we have the former head of Air Force Weapons Development saying the building was blown out, not in. And you have the seismographs and the blast points. I mean, it just goes on and on. Hoppy Heidelberg, the grand juror foreman, being threatened by the FBI, and cops being killed who spoke out. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I'm going to have her back up in the next few weeks for a full hour. She's very gracious, but I hate to even cover this without going over all the evidence. Let me just read a few more lines and we're going to her. She said, McVeigh was in military fatigues. I looked at him and said, hi, and he simply looked straight ahead. He got off the 6th floor. I turned to someone else in the elevator and said, well, he's certainly not very friendly. Another time, Graham said, he was in the elevator again and got off on the 9th floor where the Secret Service and BATF offices were located. Another unusual event Graham recalled was on Friday, April 14th, 1995. She had parked in the Murrah parking garage, and she noticed 3 men standing together on the south side of the parking area. One of the men was holding what looked like floor plans. She said at first she thought about the recent phone problems that had been plaguing the building and problems with gas fumes in the area. I watched them carefully, Graham said. They were standing behind a green light station wagon, like an old country squire wagon. It was filthy, and I couldn't see the plate on it. As she watched the 3 men, one of whom was wearing dark clothing and 2 wearing short sleeves and jeans, one of the men held a stack or a roll of what appeared to be telephone wire. And then we'll have her finish up with what she was told, and she talked to other people, military personnel, people that said they were FBI, people she'd not seen before. It just goes on and on. People approached her, identified themselves as FBI, wanted to know about the men. I mean, it just goes on and on. And Jane Graham on record's been all over national TV. She was up there on the 9th floor. She's one of the survivors. And Jane Graham, we appreciate your courage, and you're speaking out again, and it's good to have you on with us.
Thank you very much for having me. Yes, go ahead.
No. I mean, you go ahead. I mean, millions are listening. Tell folks what really happened.
Well, I think you've covered a lot of it, but going back to, I'll try and keep it, the most important part was the Friday before when I saw the men down below. I was asked about the 3 men, and I did tell them that they wanted to know what I thought they were, and I said, well, I would take